Welcome everybody, my name's Kimberly and this is Off-Road Reactions. Now recently I've been asked by a bunch of people online, what are my qualifications for critiquing off-road driving? And I really didn't want to enter into the debate, but anyway, I will. I'm ex-rally driver. I got my CAMS license when I was 17. I then went on to driving four-wheel drives. I was a leader of trip planning for my four-wheel drive club. I was driving four-wheel drives with my father in the bush since I was a young teen. And to date, I have 24 crossings of the Simpson Desert, 9 traverses of the Canning Stock Route, more than 20 trips to Cape York on the Telegraph Track, and quite a few trips to the Kimberley and lots of other regions as well. So I hope that satisfies those people that asked. Today, though, I'm not going to be reviewing an off-road video. I'm going to be reviewing one from Tez the Truckie. So there's a bit of an oddity. Not only is it not off-road, but it's a review video itself. Now, the reason I've done that is I saw this interesting start of this clip, and it's just a still image with a Caravan sideways. And I thought I should do that. And I looked through Tez's videos, and it seems he compiles a bunch of dash cam videos from other places. And I didn't really want to sit down and have to compile it all myself. So I decided I would use his review video and review that. So that's where we're at. And one of the reasons that we're doing this is because this particular channel, or this particular video, is sponsored by Learn to Tow. That's www.learntotow.com.au. It's not the number 2, it's T-O, LEARNTOTOW.com.au. So if you want to learn to tow a caravan, boat, trailer, horse float, whatever, any kind of light trailer, then get in touch with Learn to Tow. They've got courses in Brisbane, Sydney, Canberra, Melbourne, Coffs Harbour, Newcastle, Dubbo, Tamworth, Wagga. So get in touch with learntotow.com.au. Let's get started, shall we?
G'day, Tez here. Just a quick video on a few caravan accidents. Not picking on caravan.
Well, I'm going to stop it there before Tez even says anything. This is looking very problematic already. Let me tell you what I can see here immediately. There's a vehicle, a ute, towing a caravan, and he looks like he's about to cross into the right-hand lane. But you'll notice a couple of things straight away if you're looking. There's no indicator. No indicator at all. There's no extension mirrors on the ute. And the lane appears to be going on for quite some time yet. So this is really interesting. There are a couple of things here. I'm going to get to extension mirrors in a minute, but I mean, we're just half a second into this video, it seems. I think it was 6 seconds in. And there's a whole bunch to talk about here. When you're towing a caravan, you need to be predictable. You need to make sure that the road users that you're traveling with understand your next move, what it's going to be. If there's a big, long lane in front of you and you're in that lane, nobody expects you to change lane. There's absolutely no reason that I can see from this video for this vehicle to change lanes. The lane ahead of them is going on for quite some time, it seems. And why would they're not overtaking another vehicle? There's no obstruction. There's no road work going on. So the truckie, I'm assuming it's the truckie because of the height, here would not be predicting that this vehicle would change lanes. Also, if you're going to change lanes, you're going to indicate, right? And there's no indicator here. Additionally, if you're changing lanes, you have to give way to the traffic that is already in that lane. So yeah, interesting one. So now to mirrors. Are you required to fit extension mirrors when you're towing a caravan? The short answer is yes. You must be able to see down the side of the van and 20 meters beyond it. There's websites you can go to and have a look at this information. Also, I think the police and the traffic police will actually measure the width of your van and measure the width of your mirrors. And as long as your mirrors are wider than your van, then you are okay, you're compliant. So that's the way they look at it. And also that you need to be able to see that 20 meters beyond your van. So lots of people think, I don't need mirrors, but you probably do. Lots of people will say, oh, look, I've got a camera on the back of the van, so, I don't need the mirrors. I can see behind the van. Well, there's a couple of problems with that. The first one is the camera can be considered a supplement. It's not a replacement for the mirrors in terms of the law. Secondly, you need to be aware that the thing needs to be fitted, the viewer needs to be fitted into an appropriate mount. And also, it is illegal to drive with a television receiver or in-dash display unit that is showing such things as the view from the camera, if that view is visible to the driver or might distract other drivers on the same road. So technically, you really can't be driving with that thing on. So one other thing about mirrors, if you've got extension mirrors or clear views, the ones that you can extend out, you can't have those on when you're not towing. You have to take them off or push your clear views in. You can't have them extended. Okay, so that's a heck of a lot just to start from this video. Main thing though, be predictable.
Caravan drivers, but hopefully highlighting a few issues and what caused the accidents. Okay, this first one here happened in sunny Queensland, and first issue I have with this caravan is he's got no mirror extension, so he can't see down the side of his caravan. By law, you're meant to be able to see directly down the sides. He got a big blind spot. If he's got a camera on the back, very good. That got rid of the blind spot behind the van, but he's got big ones down the side, so he didn't even know the truck was there, I bet you. Second one is he's pulling across for no reason. He just blatantly cut this driver off, didn't use a blinker, and didn't even tell the truck driver he was trying to cut across. Apparently he was doing less than 90 on the open road, then once he got to the overtaken lane he sped up nearly to 100. Like always, I'll leave links so you can have a good look at the original video.
Yeah, nasty.
You can see this caravan overtaking this four-wheel drive, and as he's doing it you can just see it starting to snake right there. Okay, just again, right there. Okay, if he backed off the throttle round this time, just as he was overtaking, he would have been okay. He would have saved the caravan and saved his car. But I'll bet you any money he's following the caravan in front and they're driving somewhere in pairs, and he's just trying to keep up.
All right, I'm going to disagree with Tez here. Yes, he, excuse me, he may well have been able to save the van by slowing down, but once you get the proper sways up, there's really only one way to satisfactorily deal with the sways, and that is to press the emergency brake button on the dashboard. So you have electric brakes on caravans of this size, and you have a brake controller in the car, and you have a button that you can press that will activate only the caravan's brakes. That's the safest way to pull this thing back into line. Slowing the vehicle down could, if the sway is big enough already, potentially make it bigger. So just be a little bit careful about that. Yes, I think what Tesla's trying to say is, as you go past the truck, if you'd slow down a little bit, you know, as soon as those sways started, you'd be okay. Look, the big problem with overtaking trucks is you've got that big bow wave of air, which kind of pulls and pushes and sets the sway motion up. One of the best things that you can do is not be changing your direction or your speed dramatically as you go through that bow wave. So, you know, just hold a nice steady speed and a nice steady direction. Also, it's really important that your Caravan is appropriately loaded. So we're going to see what happens here. I tell all of my people that I'm teaching to tow vans that, you know, when you get the proper sways up, you get 3 and the 4th one rolls you over. That's just the way it is. These things are dynamically unstable in that you've got a pendulum hooked to a pendulum. Caravan is what we call a pig trailer. The other kind of trailer is a dog trailer. And pig trailers are kind of unstable. Once they get the sways going, they move the car around, and the car then moves the trailer around, the trailer moves the car, and the car moves the trailer, and it all just goes out of shape really, really quickly. So let's see what happens here.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4 goes over. So that's how it works. Once you get the proper sways up, you got 1, 2, 3, 4th one takes you over. It's amazing how it happens. It seems to be just like, you know, that's just the way the oscillations work. We have a similar thing in I fly aircraft and I fly gliders, and you get about 3 PIOs or pilot-induced oscillations. The 4th one breaks the airplane. It's just the way it goes. I don't understand why, but it's amazing how many times it's correct. The main point here is if this person on the first one of those wiggles had reached down and pressed that emergency brake button, this would not have happened. So you need to be able to reach that button as reliably and as predictably as you can reach the brake pedal with your foot. It needs to be an automatic reaction. Yeah, nasty roll over that one.
Destroyed the car and the Caravan in one go. Well done, mate. Well done. This one here, I just can't work out what started it off. He was going along fine. It's not like he blew a tyre or suddenly swerved. He just started a snake, and that's where she went. It's a bloody good advertising for Jeep though. It stayed on all 4 wheels. Have a look. Ready to drive off again.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I think I can see a lot of wind in the trees back here. I'm just going to have another look.
What started it off? He was going along fine. It's not like he blew a tyre or suddenly swerved. He just started a snake, and that's where she went.
Yeah, I think in this part here I can see quite a bit of movement in the trees. I wonder if there's some kind of big wind or something. Hard to know. It doesn't look like he's blown a tyre. I agree with that. One of the things that I've mentioned just briefly before is loading of vans, how it's important that you have the correct, what the Europeans call nose weight, but what we call toe ball downforce. I can't tell whether this Caravan is inappropriately loaded or something else, but anyway, it's just one that's kind of unexplainable unless we know a bit more. 1, 2.
It's a bloody good advertising for Jeep though. It stayed on all 4 wheels. Have a look.
It's just amazing how that works out. It's anyway.
Ready to drive off again.
The Caravan is confetti.
Not for the Caravan, no. That's demolished. Okay, I know this one here is not Australian, but it shows the point of some of the hassles us truckies still have in Australia. This one's in UK. This truck was catching up to this Caravan, and this is where it started to do cat and mouse. Now, we all experience as truck drivers, especially in Australia. We're limited to how fast we can go. We're overtaking something and someone, and they don't like to be overtaken. So quite often they'll speed up and get in front of us. This one took a little bit longer. He played a little bit of cat and mouse inside. Now, towards the end of this video, take note that he does get the wobbles up, but he manages to save it. So it can be done. See, he's gone, right, no, I'm not sitting behind trucks. Trucks pulled back to the left because there's no one there. Now this is where he starts to get the wobbles, right there. 2, 3, 4, 5, starting to get bad, and this is where he's done the right thing.
Yeah, okay, so interesting here. I'm not quite of the belief that he didn't want to be overtaken, although the last maneuver deciding to overtake this truck probably demonstrates that he was. You know, I drive very often between Sydney and Canberra, and those of you who know the Hume Highway will know it's kind of undulating up and down, and the trucks tend to need to manage their speed quite well so that they're not going too slowly up the hills. And what that means is when you're towing at a steady speed, the trucks will tend to overtake you in sections and then slow down and you have to overtake them. And there are times when we're going cat and mouse 4 or 5 times on the Hume Highway. But the main point is you need to, you know, moderate your speed in certain places. Just be prepared to slow down for a truck. Don't be too eager to overtake, you know, and communicate with the truckies. It's a really good idea to have a UHF in your car and just say, you know, mind if I overtake here? Or you might say, hey, mate, I'll just slow down for you. You know, so you do get this cat and mouse going on, and it's not deliberate. It's just if you're towing at a constant speed and the truckie's trying to manage his energy so that he can climb up the next climb, he's going to overtake you on the downhills, and then he's going to slow right down to way below your speed on some of the uphills. It's very common in places like the Hume Highway. Just be predictable.
And took his foot off the throttle. Probably giving that other truck driver a heart attack doing that. Pulled to the left and goes, no, I can't take him.
Now, the reason he got the sways there is he came out of the bow wave of one truck into the eddy behind the other truck, and then he changed his direction suddenly. So while you're in that disturbed air and you're transitioning through that disturbed air, you need to be very gentle. You know, don't go changing direction or speed really rapidly.
Everyone, please be safe on the roads.
I think that's it. All right, that was a very quick one, and I hope you enjoyed it. And don't forget to check out our sponsors, learntotow.com.au, and we'll see you back here next time.